For more on this, we can cross to our correspondent in Brussels, Dave Keating. So, Dave, what exactly would this legislation do?
Well, this is going to essentially ban products that cause deforestation from being imported into the EU. So every time one of these listed products come in to any of the EU's ports, they will have to submit a due diligence report showing if they've caused deforestation or not. And if they've caused deforestation, they cannot go onto the EU market. So the products covered will be coffee, cocoa, wood, cattle, palm oil, soya, and also any products that are fed by or used by those things, such as leather from the cows, chocolate from the cocoa, furniture from the wood, that type of thing. Now, this agreement was reached in the early hours of this morning after 9 hours of negotiations between the European Parliament, the EU's lower chamber of its legislature, and the European Council, the upper chamber of the legislature, made up of ministers from all the national governments, the 27 national governments. As usual, this was a fight between the Parliament that wanted more ambitious legislation and the national governments who wanted less ambitious legislation. The Parliament were successful in adding rubber, charcoal, printed paper, really essentially, and palm oil derivatives to the legislation, but they were unable to get some other products that they were trying to get in there, such as biodiesel and maize, into the legislation. The Parliament also wanted financial institutions to be covered by this. The national governments insisted that they be exempt, but also the Parliament was able to broaden the definition of forest degradation. So this looks like quite a big win for the European Parliament. They got a lot of what they were asking for here, and the things that they didn't get, the Commission has promised to review within 2 years. So they'll look at adding financial institutions to the scope. They'll also look at adding land specifically with high carbon storage potential or high biodiversity value, and also adding scrublands and savannas. Right now, those aren't included. There's concern that the deforestation that's happening in forests, those loggers will just move to other lands like savanna. So the Commission said, okay, we'll watch for that. If it's happening, then we'll add it to the legislation. The Parliament was also successful in getting some human rights provisions written into this. However, those provisions rely on the laws of the country that the products are coming from. So NGOs are happy about that, but they're a little worried that if you rely on those foreign laws, it's not going to have much teeth.
Well, this sounds pretty wide-ranging. When would this law take effect, and what kind of practical effect would it have on consumers, and how will it be enforced?
So this will take effect 18 months once it's officially adopted. We're expecting that to happen early next year. So we're looking at late 2024, early 2025. SMEs will get a little extra time to comply with this. They'll have 2 years. So we're really looking 2025, that's when this will take effect. How will consumers feel it? Well, some products that they might have enjoyed before may no longer be able to come in to the EU. It also could make some of these products more expensive if the range is lowered, the range of available products, or it becomes more difficult to import these products if there's more paperwork involved. Of course, advocates of this legislation will say that is worth it. It's a cost worth paying in order to save forests, which also act as carbon sinks. So they prevent climate change because they suck carbon out of the air. This is now the most ambitious deforestation law in the world. So it is a very, very big achievement. NGOs and politicians are hoping that consumers don't mind paying a little extra, maybe having a little less choice in order to save the planet.
Okay, our correspondent in Brussels, Dave Keating. Dave, thanks so much.